You may not know this, but I'm a weekly boarder at a private school in Portsmouth. And in my boarding school, there are lots of pupils from Hong Kong and mainland China. And they're all very nice people. But there is this one Chinese boy, naming no names, Brian. But he does not stop whistling. He whistles in the shower, he whistles in study, at night, when I'm trying to fucking sleep. He does not stop whistling. It drives me bonkers. But it's what he does. He does what he does. He is what he is, and he doesn't give a fuck. Alright. But his whistling isn't like a normal whistle, like a normal tune. His whistling is more of like a pinching your eardrum, burning it style whistling, like really low pitched killer, like that. It really does hurt your ears. So basically, this one morning, I was walking back from another shitty school breakfast, as you do, and there this boy is. Don't get me wrong, he is a lovely guy, but here he was, right? Remember, he's Chinese. He is Chinese, and here he was whistling the English national anthem. You know, God save that. And he's Chinese, and he was whistling that. So me and other boys were fed up with his whistling, so we go over to him and start whistling in his face. Now picture this. Here we are, 5 boys whistling to his face, surrounding him, and he kind of backed into a corner more or less, right next to a postgrad's apartment. And in our school, like some schools have gap students who help out, but our school has decided to take up postgrads. They're like 26, 27-year-old guys just left university who help out around the school, and they help out in the boarding department, right? And there's this guy's flat apartment right next to our boarding house front door. And there's a little like alleyway thing there, which he backed up into, and we were whistling at, and it was right by postgrad's front door. And it was postgrad's day off, so he was still asleep. And we were whistling at him, like proper whistling. We were in full tune now, right up in his face, right up in his grill. And we've been whistling for a good 20-25 seconds. And we were in full tune. And then at the worst possible timing, the housemaster walks around the corner and sees us standing by the postgrad's door whistling as fucking loud as we can. And he completely shits a brick, basically. He flips out, he turns red in the face, and he screams at us, yelling, "What do you think you're doing?" When this guy gets angry, he doesn't just get angry, he completely turns into full autismo mode. He loses his ability to communicate with others. And he jumps straight to the conclusion that we're whistling there, deliberately trying to wake up the postgrad, who he says does a lot for us, which he does, to be honest. He thought we were whistling there, trying and wake him up. Which I admit, it probably did look like that, but that's not the case. And when we tried to tell him what we're actually doing, he refuses to believe us. And we're like, no sir, and that's not what's happening. We were whistling it right here. He goes up right in our face, right up, like in licking distance of our faces. That's how close he got. And he screams, "Liar, liar, liar, you're a liar." And then he accuses us of attempting to wake up the postgrad, but that's not what happened. Then after about 15 minutes of his shouting, 15 minutes, alright, 15. So he's been shouting at the top of his voice for 15 minutes, and we were whistling for about 20 seconds, okay? 15, 20 seconds, 15 minutes, 20 seconds, okay? The thing is, his shouting, his screaming at us, is more likely to wake up the postgrad than our actual whistling in the first place. Alright? Then after about 15 minutes of his horrendous shouting, we managed to get a point across that we were whistling at this Asian kid. Calling him Asian does sound a bit racist. Okay, never mind, we'll just call him I don't know, Asian kid. And he's like, okay then, and lets us in the house. Alright. And after the following day of tedious, sleepy, boring, brain-numbing school, he calls me and the Asian boy over and says, I quote, Next time, why don't you just tell me what you were actually doing? He then apologises for jumping to a conclusion and picking up the wrong end of the stick, which he should do, to be honest. But seriously, you knobhead, we were trying to tell you, but you refused to believe us because you turned into your full autismo mode and lose the ability to communicate. So we just thought, fuck it. Alright, that's what we thought. You should not jump to conclusions. That's the moral of the story. You should question what actually happens. Do not jump to conclusion. Do not assume. Do not be a prick. Alright? Peace.